Your past doesn't define you. It's how you confront it that reveals who you truly are. Picture this. You're living in peace. You've moved on from old wounds, old mistakes, and those years you'd rather forget. Then out of nowhere, someone, maybe a person you once trusted, once loved, someone you shared pieces of your soul with, reaches into that past and pulls it out like a blade. They twist it slowly, reminding you of pain you believed was long gone. And with a voice mixed with pity and contempt, they say, "You remember that, right? That's who you were." In that moment, your chest tightens, not because the past returned, but because someone is weaponizing it against you. That feeling, betrayal, hits all over again. And what do most people do? We get angry, defensive. We start explaining ourselves. We desperately try to prove, "I'm not that person anymore." But the more we justify, the more we fall straight into their trap. We hand them control over our emotions. A Stoic never does that. And today, I'll share 3 Stoic responses to use when someone brings up your past to hurt you. 3 things to say with calmness, unshakable as stone. The first Stoic response: yes, that happened. The ego's first instinct is denial. We want to forget, erase, pretend those moments never existed. But Stoicism teaches that acceptance is freedom. When someone says, "I remember you failed at that company," or "You were betrayed because of how you acted back then," you don't flinch. You don't argue. You don't explain. You just meet their eyes and say, "Yes, that happened." No excuses. No guilt. No shame. Why does this simple line hold so much power? Because it steals the reaction they crave. People who drag your past into the present aren't seeking truth. They're seeking control. They want to see you squirm, defend yourself, shrink. But when you accept the past without fear, their weapon loses its edge instantly. Imagine this. An old friend reminds you that you were fired years ago for a foolish mistake. You reply, "Yes, and I learned a valuable lesson from it." In that moment, you disarm them completely. Once you stop being ashamed of who you were, no one can use it to attack who you've become. Seneca wrote, "There is nothing more noble than standing before your own faults and saying, 'Yes, I did that, and I learned.'" Acceptance gives you ownership. You reclaim your story instead of letting someone else narrate it. The second Stoic response: "I've learned from it." This sentence transforms your past into power. It shifts the frame from "I was wrong" to "I've grown." People who weaponize your past only see who you once were. What they don't understand is that you're no longer that version of yourself. Like a blade forged in fire, every break has made you sharper. Your cracks aren't weaknesses. They're the places where light entered. Think of Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison, a past that could have destroyed anyone. But he said, "I do not hate them. I learned that true freedom begins within." So when someone tells you, "You failed in your marriage, what do you know about love?" you smile and say, "Because I've been broken, I know what real love is and what it is not." That's not defensiveness. That's wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Every obstacle is an opportunity to practice virtue." So when someone tries to stain you with your past, use that very past to shine brighter. Transform pain into insight, scars into signs of spiritual maturity. The third Stoic response: "Why are you bringing this up now?" This is the question that silences every manipulator. No anger, no sarcasm, just pure, steady curiosity. This calmness is what destroys their strategy. When you ask why now, you shift from being the attacked to being the observer. You force them to confront their motives. You hold up a mirror. If their intention was honest, your question makes them reflect. If their intention was to hurt you, they crumble under their own exposure. Epictetus said, "The one who harms others is the one already in pain." People bring up your past because they cannot face their present. So when you ask, "Why are you bringing this up now?" you've already taken control. You flip the balance of power without raising your voice. Your calm becomes armor. Your silence becomes steel. The power of silence and emotional control. The Stoic knows silence is not weakness, it is ultimate power. When someone tries to provoke you, every impulsive reaction becomes a gift you hand to them. Seneca wrote, "The one who angers you conquers you." You might lose the argument, but you win in composure. You may not react, but you keep your peace. And in a world obsessed with noise, the quiet one holds the real power. Someone once said to me, "You never react. That makes people afraid of you." I smiled and replied, I don't want them to fear me. I just want peace inside myself. Because no one can pull you into the mud unless you willingly step down. Many worry, but what if people think wrong of me? And I ask, if they do, does that change who you truly are? Epictetus said, if someone calls you a donkey, do you check a mirror? Of course not. You know who you are. That is real freedom, being defined not by opinions, but by self-awareness. If they bring up your mistakes, smile. If they twist your past, stay silent. If they want a reaction, let them witness your peace. You owe no explanation for chapters you've already healed from. Marcus Aurelius wrote, when someone acts wrongly, it is because they do not know what is right. Teach them through your behavior, not your words. Sometimes maturity itself is the answer. We all have older versions of ourselves, versions we wouldn't repeat, but without them, we wouldn't be who we are now. You were once naive, once weak, once flawed. But those moments taught you courage, patience, wisdom. A man once lost to addiction can now guide others toward freedom. Someone who failed in business can teach others to succeed. A person who was betrayed can embody forgiveness. Pain becomes light when you transform it. The Stoic doesn't erase the past, they elevate it. Conclusion. Stoic freedom through acceptance. People will try to drag you back into your past, not because you're weak, but because your growth reminds them of what they never became. When you rise, you become a mirror, and not everyone is ready to see their reflection. They don't attack because you're broken. They attack because you're healed. Your peace threatens their chaos. So remember 3 things. Acknowledge your past without shame. Turn every mistake into a lesson, never a life sentence. Ask questions instead of reacting. Let them face their own intentions. This is how a Stoic wins, not through noise, but through dignity. You don't need to convince anyone you've changed. Those who truly see you don't need an explanation. Those who refuse to see you, no explanation will ever be enough. One day, someone will bring up your past again, and you'll smile, not in pride, not in pain, but in peace. Because you'll know, I am not what happened to me. I am how I rose from it. That is true freedom, not forgetting your past, but being at peace with it. So if someone tries to pull you back into an old chapter, simply say, thank you, but I've already finished that part of the story. Then walk away calm, steady, untouchable, like a true Stoic. If this message resonates with you, share it. Let it reach someone still fighting their past. And if you're walking your own Stoic path, subscribe. Join this community of calm minds and unbreakable spirits. Drop this in the comments as your reminder today. I've closed that chapter. My story moves forward.